I had an internship with Nestle. It was operations management training internship in Mount Sterling, Kentucky, and then I've also had an internship with Eurodesign Cabinets in Los Angeles, or outside of Los Angeles, Chino. Both of those, it was really intensive IE stuff. Obviously, my freshman year, whenever I interned with Eurodesign, it wasn't quite as intensive. Basically, all I had in my toolkit was time studies, so I did a lot with that. Created a decision matrix or a production chart, which basically, you would tell a supervisor at the beginning of a day how many cabinets they're going to produce, and they could produce anywhere from 400 to 1,200 depending on demand. And then basically just broke it down in increments of 50, told them whether to run 1 or 2 lines, how many people to staff on each of those lines, and then the pace to run the assembly area at, to not have a lot of backup, and to treat it as much as a pull system as you possibly can. And a pull system, basically what that means is, as opposed to traditional manufacturing where you would just try to push as much product through the line as possible. Basically, pull system works. You're going to grab one material at a time in order to finish one specific unit. So the decision matrix was probably the biggest feature of the internship out in Chino, California. And then with Nestle, I did a decent amount with trying to train line workers. It was a continuous flow process. It was actually a hot pocket factory, so I'm sure you get a kick out of that. But basically, anytime the line goes down, is you're losing productivity based on how much overhead you're using and whatnot. So whenever there was some sort of stoppage, whenever the dough wasn't sheeting quite properly, whenever the depositor wasn't putting enough filling inside the hot pockets, we would need to address that, and we would need to train people on the floor in order to take care of that as quickly as possible, as opposed to having to go through some bureaucracy in order to make a decision. And then also I just worked with entering some standards. They were trying to measure, how much labor, how much energy, how many supplies go into making individual hot pockets. And it would vary based on whether it was a hot pocket or lean pocket, or whether it was a 5-pack or a club pack, or there are a number of different features. So I just created about 300 of those, and that was something that I did towards the end of the internship. But those are the biggest features. And like I said, the typical IE stuff really does not appeal to me all that much. I just prefer much more to get out and talk to people. And if you are going to go into engineering, ISE is probably going to make you the best communicator. I think the nature of the people, they're more social, they're a little bit more outgoing, and it has a lot of application to business. Because just walking and saying you have your engineering degree, from a good accredited institution, you can obtain the business skills, but it doesn't work the same way if you get a business degree and then try to become an engineer. It's just not going to happen.